There are more than 500 known species of sharks patrolling our oceans right now. And here's something that might completely change how you think about them. You are statistically more likely to be killed by a vending machine, a coconut falling from a tree, or your own toaster than by a shark. I've spent years going down rabbit holes on shark attack data, and honestly, the deeper you go, the more the story completely flips from what movies taught us. So today we're building something different, a real danger meter, not based on teeth count or how scary something looks on camera, but on actual recorded attacks, behavior patterns, and how likely you are to ever even cross paths with one of these animals. And trust me, by the end of this, the shark you're most afraid of and the shark you should actually be afraid of are probably not the same animal at all. Let's start at the very bottom of the meter, with a shark so enormous it could swallow you whole and somehow still poses zero threat whatsoever. Danger level 0 out of 10. Picture this. You're floating in warm tropical water, and something the length of a school bus glides silently beneath you. Your instinct says panic. Your instinct is wrong, because this animal, despite having a mouth nearly 5 feet wide, has never once been recorded killing a human being. This is the whale shark, the largest fish in the entire ocean, stretching up to 40 feet long. And the reason it's harmless comes down to one detail people never expect. It doesn't hunt, it filters. Whale sharks strain over 1,500 gallons of water an hour through their gills, capturing plankton and tiny fish, completely ignoring anything the size of a human. Divers swim beside them constantly. It's basically the gentle giant of the entire ocean. But if you thought that was surprising, its cousin is somehow even more docile. The basking shark is nearly double the size of a great white, yet moves at a leisurely 3 miles an hour, filter feeding its way through the world's temperate waters without a single recorded fatal attack to its name. Danger meter 0 out of 10. If you see one of these underwater, grab your camera, not your life vest. Danger level 1/10. Now, while those giants cruise harmlessly near the surface, there's a whole category of sharks that look like something from a horror film, and yet pose almost zero real-world risk for one simple reason: you will never, ever encounter them. Somewhere down past 4,000 feet, in total darkness, lives a shark with a long blade-like snout and jaws that shoot forward like a trap door to snap its prey. This is the Goblin Shark, a species dating back 125 million years. It looks like it belongs in your nightmares, but it's lived at those crushing depths for so long that human encounters are practically non-existent. Even stranger, first discovered in 1976, the Megamouth Shark has been seen fewer than 100 times in all of recorded history. And deeper still, the frilled shark hunts in eternal blackness with 300 needle-like teeth curved backward like fish hooks, looking like a living fossil because, well, it basically is one. All nightmare fuel, zero practical risk. Danger meter 1 out of 10. Danger level 2 out of 10. So if the deep-sea monsters aren't the threat, what about the ones with the scariest reputations? This next shark has a head shape so alien-looking, it's become an instant symbol of fear in pop culture. And yet, the science tells a completely different story. The great hammerhead can grow over 6 meters long, with that unmistakable T-shaped head giving it something no other predator has, nearly 360-degree vision. But here's the twist. Researchers who actually study these animals up close describe them as shy and inquisitive, not aggressive. That bizarre head evolved for one very specific job: pinning stingrays against the seafloor, not hunting people. Worldwide, there are only a couple of reported hammerhead-related incidents per year. And in the shallows of the tropical Indo-Pacific, the blacktip reef shark is famously timid, often darting away at the first sign of a diver. Communities in the Marshall Islands actually figured out a trick. Simply swimming instead of wading through murky, shallow water is enough to prevent accidental bites, since most incidents happen only when the shark mistakes a moving foot for prey it can barely see. Danger meter 2 out of 10. Respect the size, not the temperament. Danger level 3 to 4 out of 10. But what happens when you corner one of these animals, or accidentally step on one resting on the seafloor? That's where things start to shift. The nurse shark actually ranks 4th in total recorded shark attacks on humans worldwide, which sounds terrifying until you understand the why. Nurse sharks are slow, bottom-dwelling, and rest in the exact same shallow water where people swim and snorkel. Most bites happen when someone literally steps on one without realizing it's there. It's not predation. It's a foot meeting a very startled animal. And speaking of animals that don't attack the way you'd expect, the Thresher Shark doesn't even use its mouth first. It uses its massive tail fin like a whip, cracking it at speeds over 100 kilometers an hour to stun prey before circling back for the kill. Most human incidents happen only when one is hooked by fishermen and lashes out in defense, hard enough in some cases to break bones. Danger meter 3 to 4 out of 10. Leave them alone and they'll leave you alone. Danger level 5 to 6 out of 10. Now here's where the meter really starts climbing, because these next few sharks have the raw power to genuinely hurt you, even if hunting humans has never been their intention. Somewhere out in open water, moving faster than almost anything else in the ocean, is the Shortfin Mako, the fastest shark on Earth, capable of bursts over 60 miles per hour. One individual was measured with a bite force close to 3,000 pounds, among the strongest ever recorded in any shark species. Makos aren't naturally drawn to humans, but hook one on a fishing line, and it becomes a completely different animal, breaching, thrashing, sometimes attacking the boat itself. And when blue sharks, normally solitary, almost lazy hunters, group up to corner a school of prey, their behavior shifts entirely. In 450 years, there have only been 13 recorded blue shark bites on humans, but the 4 of them were fatal. Then there's the Oceanic Whitetip, a shark old world sailors nicknamed the shipwreck shark because of its unnerving tendency to follow vessels and feed on stranded survivors. Solitary and slow most of the time, the moment it senses food, everything changes. Danger meter 5 to 6 out of 10, capable of real harm, but rarely the instigator. Danger level 7 out of 10. Now let's talk about the shark that will genuinely eat almost anything it encounters. Because unlike everything we've covered so far, this next one isn't picky, and that's exactly what makes it dangerous. Growing up to 5 meters and over 1,300 pounds, the tiger shark has earned a nickname that says it all: the garbage disposal of the ocean. Researchers have found tires, license plates, and all kinds of debris in tiger shark stomachs. It hunts mostly at night using excellent low-light vision, has a blunt, crushing jaw strong enough to snap a sea turtle shell in half, and ranks second in total recorded fatal shark attacks worldwide. It's not targeting humans specifically. It's simply willing to try anything that crosses its path, which is exactly why it's one of the most consistently dangerous sharks on this entire list. Danger meter 7 out of 10. Danger level 9 out of 10. The most famous shark in the entire ocean earns this ranking, and once you hear the numbers, you'll understand exactly why. Growing over 20 feet long and weighing more than 2,200 kilograms, the great white shark has a bite force approaching 2 tons, strong enough to crush bone instantly. It can detect a single drop of blood diluted across an Olympic-sized swimming pool. It holds the record for the highest number of recorded shark attacks of any species on the planet. 272 attacks since 2012 alone, with 29 fatalities between 1990 and 2011. But here's the detail that changes everything. Scientists believe great whites don't actually like the taste of human flesh. Most attacks are a single testing bite, followed by the shark releasing and swimming away, which is exactly why the overwhelming majority of great white attack victims survive. If this animal genuinely wanted to eat a person, there would be no escaping it. Danger meter 9 out of 10. Devastating potential, rarely predatory intent. Danger level 10 out of 10. And that brings us to number 1. It isn't the biggest shark on this list, it isn't the fastest, it doesn't even look particularly threatening compared to a great white, but it might be the single most dangerous shark to humans on planet Earth for one reason that changes everything: proximity. The bull shark can survive in both saltwater and freshwater thanks to specialized kidneys that regulate its salt levels, an adaptation almost no other shark has. That means bull sharks have been documented in the Mississippi River, deep inside the Amazon, and in lakes across Central America, places where people swim, fish, and live their everyday lives. This isn't a shark confined to remote open ocean. This is a shark that could be closer to you than you think. Stocky, muscular, and running high in testosterone, bull sharks hunt as ambush predators in murky, low-visibility water, the exact conditions where you can't see them coming, and they can't clearly identify what they're biting. Their bite force has been recorded at over 1,300 pounds. They're territorial, need very little provocation to attack, and here's the part that should really concern you. Researchers believe bull shark attacks are so frequently misidentified as other species afterward that the true numbers are almost certainly higher than official statistics show. Some experts even believe a bull shark, not a great white, inspired the real attacks behind Jaws. Danger meter 10 out of 10. Not the biggest, not the fastest, but the one most likely to actually be in the water with you. So here's the real takeaway. Out of more than 500 shark species on this planet, only a tiny handful pose any genuine threat to humans. And even the most dangerous species average around 4 fatal attacks worldwide per year. Compare that to the 1 million people killed annually by mosquitoes, or the fact that you're statistically more likely to die from a falling coconut than a shark bite. Meanwhile, humans kill an estimated 100 million sharks every single year. The fear runs one direction, the actual danger runs the other. So let me ask you this. After seeing this ranking, which shark surprised you the most? Drop it in the comments, because I read every single one. And if you want more deep dives into the ocean's most misunderstood predators, make sure you're subscribed, because we're just getting started.